It's not the first time we're hearing or reading such nasty headlines with regard to Pumwani. Pumwani Hospital has been accused of neglect, negligence, a lot of these things, yet it's a hospital that has been there for so many years. Don't you think that probably there's something really wrong? Because this was just discovered yesterday, but it appears that this is a normal life in Pumwani. Even the person who was asked felt the need to hide and say, we only have one dead body. It's only the people who accompanied the governor that actually looked under the table and found more dead bodies.
I think for me, the saddest part was when the guy had to lie that there was only one body. Because, you see, so just reading the newspaper, you hear that Pumwani deals with 100 births on average every day. And then they argue that maybe out of that number, some 3 or 4 may die, which is still quite high. When you think about it, they're talking about 3% of the people who are going through the hospital losing their babies. It's still a very high percentage. But then you ask yourself, if this is a genuine structural problem, why then would you as a member of the hospital be lying when the governor comes? In fact, what you should be doing is telling the governor that the reason we need your input into this hospital so that we can avoid having this kind of deaths. If you don't have a mortuary, you don't hide it. When the governor comes, you don't hide the fact that you don't have a mortuary. You actually tell him, in fact, come, I show you what we do with bodies here, and that is why we've been asking for mortuary. So you get the impression that yes, there's a problem within the structure of how Pumwani operates. The lack of a morgue, for example, is a fundamental problem, considering how old that hospital has been. I mean, I cannot understand how is it that to date, nobody has seen the need to invest in a mortuary in Pumwani, or even a structure that can actually hold over bodies within a certain element of dignity, as you now move them, as you move them to city mortuary, which is what I hear they do. But then the second question then becomes, so you have an infrastructural problem with the hospital, but then we have a problem, a psychological, or is it a social problem with the people who work in Pumwani? Because that simple issue of that guy trying to tell the governor we have only one body, while knowing that there were 12, for me is just sad. It's sad because this is a guy who should be helping them sort the issues. Why would he hide unless there's something, and which is why I personally think there is something sinister that they're doing, because if it was genuine that you have all these bodies due to a collapse of the services in the hospital, then he should have been first to explain what is happening. The fact that he hid it tells me there's something really wrong going on.
Of course, health services are run by county governments, but Pumwani should be bigger than just the county. It is probably the biggest maternity hospital we have in Kenya. Do you think that to some extent that some of these facilities should not just be left to the county government? Probably that's why there is some level of mismanagement.
Pumwani is a specialized maternity hospital whereby the core business is delivery. And there are just a number of newborns compared to Kenyatta, which is a referral hospital. You find that Pumwani has a higher. So in this case, it calls upon some specialized facilities. And in any given hospital, a major hospital like Pumwani, of course we expect a morgue to be there or anything, maybe to do the makeshift, whatever the case. But on the issue of saying maybe Pumwani should not be under the county, or for that matter, I strongly believe that Nairobi as a county, with proper management, that Pumwani still can work very well under the county, because we know very well the constitution that Kenyans voted for. Health is devolved. Health is devolved, and we only have level 6 hospitals which are under the national government. That is Moi Teaching and Referral Hospital. We have Kenyatta National Hospital. We have I think Madare, the one that's the psychiatric cases.
Don't you think that Pumwani should qualify for such?
I think with time,
because maybe specialized.
Absolutely. Maybe with time, I strongly feel this matter can be looked into, but you don't have to wait for it to go to the national. Still, the government of Nairobi, because majority of the people that come to Pumwani, actually almost 90% are from within Nairobi. So I have no doubt that Nairobi County has what it takes to manage Pumwani Hospital. I think if it's the issue to do with management, this should be audited, and if it's also to do with the equipment, for example, the morgue, this should be put there.
Another question, don't you think that it's And we've all said that probably this should have been the biggest headline today. The fact that 12 bodies, the manner in which they've been stored, the manner in which they've been reported, because they don't even have records of who and who died. Don't you think that this is a matter that should attract the attention of the National Assembly? You've been called back for recess, from recess, now you're discussing the issues to do with the fuel tax and this finance bill that has been returned to the memorandum from the President. But do you think that such matter should attract the attention of the National Assembly or even the Senate?
Actually, this matter should attract the attention of everyone. First, so even the media stands accused, because the fact that they couldn't make it splash.
We seem to believe that fertilizer
windfall is a much bigger headline than the fact that 12 bodies of babies were found. So yes, there's that. But then we also have the fact that I'm reading that the DCI is already engaged into this issue, and they're going to be following up to see where it's at. We are going for a special, we've been called in for a special specific issue. Yes. That's why we're going back to Parliament today and Thursday. But then I suspect that this is not going to go away. This is not an issue that is going to go away. And for me, I know I saw the Senator Nairobi comment about it. I saw the governor is following up. We have DCI. What's going to happen is that members of the security committee and members of the health committee are going to pick it up and find out exactly what is going on in that hospital. But I guess we've also become a bit charred, for lack of another word, by bad things happening. And as we were just saying this before we started the show, we've got so many people doing weird things. I mean, shootings, killing children, this daughter of the magistrate who was killed. There's a part of us that needs to actually do a recall on ourselves and ask ourselves, what is happening to the soul and the character of the Kenyan person? Yes. Is it that these things were happening and we never got to know about them, or is there something specific that is happening to us? Is this part of the problem of the standard of living, for example? Is it that people have gotten so desperate that some issues that were not what you could not think about before, like keeping babies in a bag in an office, bodies of babies in a bag in an office, or killing a 9-year-old child, are now normal? Is this a new normal? Yes. And to be very sad if it was.